That you never know what somebody is going through. So thank you for doing this.
Behind her beautiful smile, no one really knew that Dr. Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey was suffering in silence.
It was a quiet storm. It's difficult, to put into words how I feel. Mixed emotions.
This is Anthony's first holiday season without his wife. Theirs was a love of undying support.
She made me a better person, and I made her a better person. She talked about going to get her PhD. She asked me what I thought about it. I said, do it. Her being an overachiever, she was working and she was going to school at the same time. They told her that it probably would take 5 years. She did it in 3. She was just driven to be the best and never wanted to fail her mother. Her mother was a rock, and her aunt. She loved them dearly, and me.
Bonnie was her mother's only child.
I talked to my wife that night. She was out eating ice cream. The next morning I get a phone call, that she didn't take, she's gone. That was a rough phone call. Whew, that's a tough one. I wouldn't want anybody to have to live through that.
Bonnie's death was felt around the world.
And the story of Dr. Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey.
In solidarity, thousands of people shared their experiences of debilitating pain from workplace abuse.
Rocked us because nobody saw it. The closest of friends, nobody saw it coming.
And Bonnie never could have imagined that her alma mater would contribute to her mental decline, decades after wonderful college relationships and memories.
Bundle of joy, light, and love. Like she just radiated love. We would be suited and booted. We would have suits on in college, and we're wearing suits to our parties. We're strolling with our pinkies up. We were always together. Bonnie was just always so classy. Whenever you saw her, she was together from head to toe. She meant business. You can tell just her presence.
Crystal and Bonnie were more than just friends. They were Alpha Kappa Alpha line sisters at Lincoln University in Missouri. The 4 pledgees were committed to lifelong community service, allegiance to one another, and their alma mater.
She was ecstatic to go back to the university. That was her dream.
But in less than 6 months as the new vice president of student affairs at her beloved institution,
she loved the kids. She loved her job. And she always wanted to excel. Failure was not an option.
Bonnie realized she was caught in an emotional tug of war with the administration.
She didn't want us to worry about her. It would show itself through stress. She never really talked a lot about things.
But her words were recorded on paper. Her family found Bonnie's letter written to John Mosley, the university's president.
I was saddened that, she had to even write that. We never saw that. The writing only came after the fact, that she had taken her life.
Bonnie says Mosley was the bullying ringleader.
First thing she said to Mosley in her letter was, "Thank you for allowing me to return." That's just indicative of who she is. So she thanked him knowing that, however, this will be the last time you hear from me.
Like in many workplace abuse cases, human resources is often unresponsive and complicit in the bullying.
When she met with Mosley to discuss her evaluation, I think he gave her 36 out of 100 points. She mentioned in no time did you give me a corrective action plan.
Bonnie writes the fix was in.
You had no intentions of retaining me. It went downhill after my FMLA and ADA documents were submitted due to my severe depression and anxiety.
She endured gaslighting. She was isolated and she was ignored.
I asked for help. Your expectations and an improvement action plan, and you ignored my request, failing to respond to emails, or when face-to-face you danced around the topic. This is documented and noted.
Her love for Lincoln was not reciprocated. The lack of compassion was too much to bear.
Intentionally harassed and bullied me and got satisfaction from sitting back to determine how you would ensure I failed as an employee and a proud alumni. I sincerely shared with you about my illness. I was saddened to learn you shared and joked about my condition. While the investigation is closed, this situation has not yet been completed.
In the days after Bonnie's passing, students and alumni rallied and protested, pleading for an investigation and the firing of President Mosley. 2 months after Bonnie's death, their investigation found no bullying.
There's no justice for her death. There's only a solution there.
And Bonnie left a roadmap for their fight.
All of the information she left, she said, is documented. I have a hard drive. I have information on my phone. I have emails. She's left names.
Crystal and Anthony are partnering with End Workplace Abuse and supporting its Workplace Psychological Safety Act, the WPSA. It mandates an independent investigation of any abuse claims.
But what we really are truly still asking for is for someone, an organization, to come in that has no affiliation with the university at all and do a true investigation.
The Lincoln University Alumni Association has also been pushing for an independent investigation. A month after Bonnie's death, the group rallied at the Missouri State Capitol.
The Lincoln University alumni that are standing in the gallery.
The legislature has the power to pass the WPSA.
I would like this body to make them feel welcome.
Ironically, in June 2024, the university permanently suspended the Alumni Association.
Sent a letter stating that the Alumni Association could no longer use the name or any of its likeness or any of its logos. And if they did not stop, then they have the right to file a lawsuit. You can see the bullying, right? And so now you're threatening lawsuits against the Alumni Association.
The rallying cry a year ago is getting louder from a chorus of collective voices echoing Anthony's resolve to not let his wife's death be in vain.
I went through the hate, but then thought about the hate. That was something that was going to jump onto me and bring me down emotionally. So I had to put that hate part away because I could feel it burdening me. And I rebuked that. And I wanted to come up with a solution.
It starts with telling our truth.
Healing, cherish, faith, thank you, laugh, and remember. During Bonnie's funeral, rocks were passed out to each individual that attended her funeral. Every time it's time for us to go to work or for me to go to work, I will pull a rock and I call it Bonnie's voice. What are you saying today?
So today when I pulled remember and I said, okay, Bonnie, what do you want to say today? It's remember to remember. She told us not to forget, right? And I went to the end of her letter. One thing she said was, I cried my last tear this morning. I've had dark days, but I've never been this dark in my 25 years in the field. Student affairs was my love, and my love killed me.
Missed and never will be forgotten. She would definitely wouldn't want anybody to go down this path that she did.
Anthony now leans on his faith, knowing time will heal and justice will someday be served.
That's what my wife said. Karma has no deadline.
Through her soror and sister friend.
While it may appear in the public that no work is being done, the work will continue. There must be change.
Bonnie's voice will never be silenced. In death, she speaks life into others.
I hope this message touches someone. If your soul is empty, troubled, in despair, and you see red flags, leave. Do not try to stick around.
And she left these final words for her bullies.
Karma will catch up to you and a few others. It may not happen tomorrow. However, in time, karma and ill intentions are like a mirror. It will reflect the pain and the bruises that you have caused on others, Dr. Mosley. May God have mercy on your callous and evil soul. I wish my beloved LU all the best. Blue Tiger Pride, Bonnie.